Hello everyone, this is Leo for the AI Enhanced Engineer, and this video is part two of our series AI Assistance. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make projects in Claude AI and in ChatGPT feel like actual colleagues that can follow you on your projects and learn and grow with you. Right? So let's get started. We're going to be starting from the prompt we crafted last video. Right? So here we decided to actually create a machine learning engineer that specializes on production ready ML systems, right? So we gave it a role and we're giving it a context for the stack, right? And yeah, for the stack mainly. So we have Docker, UV, Python, PyTorch, Llama Index, and Fast API, right? But today, instead of putting it right here on the chat window, we're actually gonna take it with us and we're gonna go to projects. And in projects, we're actually going to be able to create a contextual AI assistant that is going to be grounded on the prompt that I just showed you, right? So here you can see that I have many of those that I brainstormed with for my project. So we're going to go in new project, ML engineer expert. You can call it as you want, really. And here, craft production ready ML systems, right? Raft, right? All those spelling mistakes. And then we create the project. And here is the super important thing. Here to the right, you have this instructions section, right? Where you can actually put that prompt. And here, the project is going to guarantee that this context is going to be added to every chat, right? So that this assistant is going to be contextually grounded on this information, on the role and on the stack, right? And this prompt can be very long. You can put preferences of communication. You can put many other things. We can see how to enhance these prompts after, but for now we're just gonna save these instructions here. And then in the file section, it's something amazing actually. You can mount files that are going to be part of the context, right? And you don't need to do it only from your local files. You can actually do it also from GitHub repositories. So for example, here this repo has a sample code that I use for my articles. So I'm just going to add it all. And here you can see that it's getting loaded, right? And we do not just stop there. We can, let's say for example, if we have a Claude.md with coding best practices, right? We can also mount it here. And all this context is going to be prepared by Claude, by this platform, and it's actually going to be sent along with all your chat, with all your chats. So that's going to make it so that this engineer is going to be grounded exactly on the project he's working on, in this example, right? On the best practices that I wanted to follow, and also on its role and on its context. That it's kind of tiny here, but as I said, it can be expanded, right? So for example, here, help me craft a simple React agent with tests, right? So this should use the index and it should use a bunch of things that are in the prompt, and very likely it might even go and look for the code inside the repository. Let's see, let's see what it does. And here we go. I was about to pause the video, but it was not necessary, right? So we're gonna give it a second and we're gonna see if it is able to. All right, so here, see, this is incredible. Actually, it's importing from the repository that I actually told it, that I actually added to the context. So that's really cool, and it's actually importing the React agent from there. So I was expecting to actually write the code using Llama Index, right? And instead it went to get the already made agent in the repository. So these are things that we need to deal with, right? So my instruction was not detailed enough, right? So this is just wasting tokens. So I'm going to stop, right? Please write the code in using Llama Index. Let's see. Now it should use Llama Index as we just specified, instead of importing from the, all right, there we go, from the FMAP toolkit. There we go. So see, now it's actually using Llama Index as I thought it would. So that's it, right? I don't need, if we go back to the project, I don't need to specify the stack, and I don't need to be reminding my assistant what to do at every single turn, right? I can really encode all that in files and in instructions, right? So the same thing applies if you're working on ChatGPT. So let's go just go take a look at that, right? So you can also create a project. You create a new project, ML engineer expert. We simply need to come to these 3 points here and say add instructions. Oh, it went away. Sorry about that. Add instructions, and we can paste our prompt there, right? And that's gonna make it be contextually grounded on the same information as we were showing with Claude, right? And then we can also add files. ChatGPT doesn't have support for repositories, right? But if you have it cloned, you can actually also add it, so you can have a very similar effect. And something really cool is that last week the projects in ChatGPT became free, right? So what you can actually do now is that you can create them even if you don't pay. So you can leverage that now without you don't have to put it in the chat directly, right? It can be done as a project even if you don't pay. So that's it for today. Next video, I'm gonna start showing you techniques that are specific to enhancing the prompts for your agents, so they can actually follow your projects, as I said, right? But this is the foundation of how to create agents that are contextually grounded, right? So stay tuned for the next video. It should be up in a few days, and remember to subscribe. And I added the link to the article that has everything, all the information, all the links, and to the repository in the comments. So take a look and happy coding.